Imagine governing an empire so vast that it stretches from the British Isles to the Middle East. Sounds challenging, doesn't it? Indeed, the Roman Empire, in all its grandeur, faced immense hurdles. The sheer size of the empire, sprawling across 3 continents, proved to be a double-edged sword. On one hand, Rome's vast territories were a testament to its power and influence. But on the other, managing such a colossal expanse posed unique challenges. The geographical reach of the empire strained resources and manpower to their limits. Maintaining control over distant provinces and securing borders against external threats required an enormous military presence. But as the empire grew, so did the demand for soldiers, stretching the state's ability to recruit and equip adequate forces. As the need for soldiers outpaced Rome's ability to provide them, the empire began to lean heavily on non-Roman recruits and mercenaries. This shift was not purely a matter of necessity. It was also a strategic move to incorporate the conquered peoples into the Roman military machine, turning potential enemies into allies. However, this strategy came with its own set of problems. The recruitment of non-Roman soldiers, many of whom had different cultural backgrounds and loyalties, began to alter the composition of the Roman legions. The once homogeneous and fiercely loyal Roman military, known for its discipline and professionalism, became a melting pot of different cultures, languages, and loyalties. This change in the military's composition had profound implications. As the legions became less Roman, loyalty to the empire became diluted. Many soldiers, particularly mercenaries, were loyal to their commanders or their pay rather than the empire itself. This shift in allegiance posed a serious challenge to the stability and unity of the Roman military, undermining its effectiveness and morale. The overextension of the Roman Empire, coupled with the strain on its military, created a fragile situation. The vastness of the empire became its vulnerability. The stretched resources and the changing face of its military machine set the stage for internal strife and external threats. With stretched resources and a military machine that was gradually losing its Roman identity, the empire was setting itself up for a fall. Now picture waves of foreign invaders knocking at your borders. This was the reality for the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, in its expansive might and glory, faced a persistent threat from the barbarian tribes. These tribes, ranging from the Germanic tribes in the north to the Huns from the east and the Visigoths from the west, were not just outsiders trying to breach the Roman borders. They were complex societies with their own political structures, cultural practices, and military strategies. These invasions were not isolated incidents, but a continuous pressure that the empire had to endure. The Visigoths, for instance, after being initially allowed to settle within the Roman borders as foederati, or allied forces, eventually turned against their hosts. This culminated in the infamous sack of Rome in 410 AD, a psychological blow that shattered the invincibility myth of the Roman Empire. But it wasn't just the barbarian invasions that were a problem. The empire was grappling with external pressures that were equally daunting. One of the major pressures was the mass migration of people. The Huns movement from Central Asia set off a domino effect, pushing various tribes towards the Roman territories. This great migration, or the wandering of the nations, added to the demographic pressure on the already strained resources of the empire. Another often overlooked factor is climate change. During the latter part of the Roman Empire, there are records of severe weather conditions. Colder winters, unpredictable rainfall, and consequent crop failures would have certainly shaken the foundations of an empire largely dependent on agriculture. So, as we can see, the Roman Empire was not just battling enemies from the outside, but also dealing with the ripple effects of larger global phenomena. These external pressures, combined with the relentless barbarian invasions, posed a formidable challenge that even the mighty Roman Empire struggled to overcome. The empire that once conquered was now being conquered, piece by piece. In the midst of external threats, the empire was crumbling from within. As Rome expanded its territories, the political stability that once defined the empire began to falter. The first signs of trouble emerged with succession crises. The transfer of power from one emperor to the next was rarely a smooth affair. In fact, it was often marked by murder, exile, and even civil wars. This led to a highly volatile political environment where the highest seat of power was constantly under dispute. The struggle for the throne not only led to loss of lives, but also weakened the empire's internal cohesion and focus. Amidst these succession crises, the empire also grappled with a slew of civil wars. These internal conflicts further strained Rome's resources and divided its populace. They not only weakened the empire militarily, but also created deep divisions among the political elite and the common citizens. The constant infighting and power struggles undermined the stability and unity that had once been Rome's strength. In addition to these crises, political intrigue was rampant within the corridors of power. Allegiances shifted with the wind, and betrayal was a common occurrence. This constant undercurrent of deceit and treachery further eroded trust and confidence in the empire's leadership. But perhaps the most damning of all was the role played by weak or ineffective emperors. Some were too young, others too inexperienced, and a few simply lacked the vision or the will to hold the empire together. Their inability to effectively manage the empire's vast territories, diverse populations, and complex challenges exacerbated internal divisions and hastened the empire's decline. These weak emperors not only struggled to maintain control over their own courts, but also failed to inspire confidence among the populace. As public confidence in imperial institutions waned, so did the empire's ability to maintain order and cohesion across its vast territories. The empire's political structure was disintegrating, paving the way for its eventual collapse. As we delve further into the decline of the Roman Empire, it becomes clear that the seeds of its downfall were sown not just by external threats, but also by its own internal contradictions and weaknesses. As if military and political problems weren't enough, the empire was also wrestling with serious economic challenges. Now imagine the Roman Empire, a vast entity that stretched from the sun-baked sands of North Africa to the misty shores of Britain. The cost of maintaining such an empire was astronomical and created a financial strain that was crippling. Inflation was a major thorn in the side of the empire. With each emperor minting their own coinage, the value of money began to decrease. As emperors and their bureaucrats desperately tried to balance the books, they resorted to reducing the silver content of coins. This debasement of currency resulted in a loss of confidence in the monetary system, leading to skyrocketing inflation rates. This was coupled with heavy taxation. To fund the military and sustain the lavish lifestyles of the elite, enormous tax burdens were placed on the populace. The weight of these taxes was often too much to bear for the average Roman citizen and farmer, leading to widespread poverty and a decrease in agricultural productivity. The decline in agriculture was a significant blow. Once fertile lands lay fallow, crops failed, and the once thriving agrarian economy began to falter. This agricultural decay was a symptom of a larger issue, the crumbling of Rome's trade networks. Trade was the lifeblood of the empire, bringing in essential goods from far-flung regions. But as the empire's influence waned, so did these crucial trade routes. The vibrant urban infrastructure of Rome also began to crumble. Aqueducts, roads, and public buildings, symbols of Rome's grandeur, fell into disrepair. Without the necessary funds for maintenance and the manpower to carry out repairs, the urban decay mirrored the economic decline. These economic challenges were not isolated incidents but rather interconnected factors that fed into each other, creating a vicious cycle of decline. The debasement of currency, heavy taxation, decline of trade and agriculture, and crumbling urban infrastructure all contributed to Rome's economic downfall. An empire cannot thrive without a strong economy, and Rome was no exception. The Roman Empire, once a beacon of wealth and prosperity, was now crippled by economic decay, a potent factor in its ultimate decline. The Roman society was changing, and not necessarily for the better. As the empire expanded, its demographic makeup began to shift dramatically. The once homogeneous society was now a melting pot of diverse cultures, which, while enriching, also led to cultural and social tensions. Urbanization, another transformative force, was rapidly altering the societal landscape. Cities swelled with population, leading to overcrowded conditions, strained resources, and a widening gap between the rich and the poor. But perhaps the most significant cultural transformation was the rise of Christianity. Once a persecuted sect, it became the state religion under Emperor Constantine. This shift brought about changes in societal norms and political allegiances, with Christianity serving as both a unifying force and a source of religious conflict within the empire. These social and cultural transformations, while inevitable, also contributed to the empire's internal strains. The societal changes further fueled the empire's downfall. The fall of the Roman Empire left an indelible mark on history. Its legacy is profound, influencing subsequent civilizations in myriad ways. From architectural marvels to pioneering legal systems, the echoes of Rome resonate in the fabric of our modern world. Yet, the empire's decline also serves as a cautionary tale, a testament to the fragility of even the most powerful of entities. Historical interpretations of Rome's fall are diverse and layered. Traditional narratives often spotlight the dramatic barbarian invasions, painting a picture of a mighty empire brought to its knees by external forces. However, more nuanced analyses delve into the empire's internal weaknesses and systemic failures, revealing a complex web of overextension, economic instability, and social transformation. These differing perspectives enrich our understanding of Rome's demise, highlighting the multifaceted nature of historical events. Thus, the fall of Rome teaches us that even the mightiest can fall, offering a sobering lesson for all empires, past, present, and future.